Welcome back to the Remna podcast. I'm Joel Harris and I'm bald.
And did you forget who you were?
No. I was thinking about the bald thing and then I did mixed up with my name.
I'm bald.
Yes.
This is the Remna podcast and I have no hair.
Today we're talking about The Odyssey and The Invite, two films that have come out very, very recently that we've both got the privilege to see. You have walked fresh out of your second watch of The Invite.
I just got out of The Invite on a second watch. We saw it together the first time at Brunswick Picture House, and then I just showed Shanae at Nova, and I was so happy that the crowd was just as ecstatic as they were when we saw it, which does so much for a comedy film. Like it just lifts the energy. Like I just can't imagine being in that. Like I would still enjoy it, but I can't imagine being in a film that's meant to be funny and it's like just kind of an empty, like there's either no one in there or people just don't find it funny.
Yeah.
Whereas like with a film like this, there was this lady in the back that was like like literally she would just laugh at like anything, and I just find that so funny how like there's like one distinct laugh that you hear over and over again, and it just, I don't know, it adds to the character of it.
That's cool. Do you think we've been having these kinds of films come out recently? Because I can only think of this, and then I saw Nirvana the band, the show, the movie in a cinema earlier this year, which was also big crowd show up, big laughs, but I can't remember for the last couple of years we've had these kind of movies come out.
What do you mean? Like what kind?
Just like comedy films that come out and you go and you laugh, and they're always like, I think the pure comedy films kind of disappeared, and now we're getting kind of like the stylized.
That's kind of true.
And even horror is kind of really funny now as well.
Well, Shanae was even just talked about, like, she's like, oh, I haven't seen, like, I know now Seth Rogen's now a lot more of a serious, respected actor. Like, he's not just a goofball making goofball films.
He's not making Sausage Party anymore.
Right, but I that, to your point, I'm just like, yeah, no, there actually were way more of those kinds of movies back in the day. But then even this film, I mean, we'll get into that, but like it's wrapped up in so much drama as well. Like it's such a tight kind of almost theater film.
Yeah, it's like a play, really.
Stylized as a comedy. And it is a comedy. Like it is so funny. Like I actually in some ways found it even funnier, just even better on a rewatch in every way. But it's like wrapped in this drama. But no, you're right. Like there aren't these kind of LOL cinema experiences like there were. Yeah, I think you're actually totally right. I actually can't think of anything.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything.
It was so unexpectedly great. Like I heard that it was good. I was like, yeah, this is one we should check out, but I didn't expect it to be this good. Like the cast was great. The location was so expertly used just in the one apartment. Yeah. And we've seen plenty of kind of fast dialogue, snappy films before, but this one felt like fresh and unique in some sort of way.
You can't always pull off the like double, like I don't know how they when they script it, like they actually have the characters just totally talk on top of each other. I think you've seen like the Meyerowitz stories, they do that in that.
But
film.
that's like a different vibe. Like that is like
I still haven't seen that film.
Different, like rooted. It's more like familial tension and drama, which I guess this is too. But I can't explain it. It's just...
No, it's so
real. So fresh.
And it is so fresh, 100%. And I think when we saw... Because I saw the trailer a bunch of times when at Picture House, and I just didn't... because the trailer is so restrained to the point where I actually wasn't super interested in seeing the film because I just knew nothing about it. And it looked like, okay, this could be a bit quirky and stuff, but it didn't really scratch any itch for me, like the trailer per se, because it's so restrained. Kind of, we understand why it's so restrained because there's kind of three tiers.
It's kind of hyping up an orgy, right?
Well, it's three tiers of spoilers. Let's just say before you say anything, there's three tiers of spoilers for the film.
And I want to keep it kind of spoiler light. Like I think a lot of people haven't gone and seen this film, and definitely
we can break through each of those tiers, right?
Okay.
Because like first of all is like it's a dinner party, right? It's just literally like Olivia Wilde's character is inviting their neighbors over for a dinner party. That's first tier.
Yeah.
And then the other ones, we go down the iceberg, so to speak. But no, I wasn't that like hyped necessarily for the film. And then I think, did you message me? You were just like, yeah, it's on.
Yeah,
or
no, I messaged our little cute movie group chat and was like, let's go. I want to see The Invite on this day. Yeah. And you were like, I was already thinking about it.
I was already, that's right. Yeah, true. Yeah.
Big Wednesday at the Brunswick Picture House.
And it was Olivia Wilde's like, it's funny to say comeback because she's had a very short film directing career.
I haven't seen either of her other two films.
Are there two or are there just one?
Booksmart? And then Don't Worry, Darling.
which I saw that one.
Okay.
And just, yeah.
Give me like a little rundown. I saw that there was like all sorts of real life dramas, like the cast not getting along.
Yeah,
and some
that's
weird,
right.
Like
there
press
was some
tour
weird
stuff
there was some weird stuff like that. But
on the back of like just the movie wasn't very good.
Without giving too much away, essentially it's just a very high concept. It's almost like a high concept horror film, nestled in like everyone's happy, everything's all good in this almost like 50s sort of like stylized town wherever it's almost like cult vibes. And then there's the couple is just sort of like, from what I remember, is just like the relationship's kind of, it's a bit Truman Showy, you know, if like with Truman Show, it's just kind of like their relationship is kind of strained because like one person clearly knows something about this world than the other person does, right? And so like, anyway, Don't Worry Darling is like, again, the concept's really, really cool. I just like, the execution fell a bit flat for me. And I think Harry Styles had just kind of jumped on the scene after Dunkirk, and then that was his more weighty role, and it really relies on him to be really, really solid. And
Olivia Wilde's acting in that one as well.
Yeah, which was fine. I just didn't think it was very. There was nothing very unique as like, if that was not her debut but her second film. I don't know what her first film was, but like there was nothing very unique about that. Again, great concept, but execution. But then this, I felt like had so much of her thumbprint on it. It felt really personal.
She works so well in the film as well.
Yeah,
like
she's
the
brilliant.
Synergy of the cast is just so, it's half of what keeps it alive.
Which is so cool because like the coupling is so kind of strange.
Yeah.
You kind of would never in a million years pair these people together. You know, Rogan with Olivia Wilde, and then like
Penelope Cruz with Edward Norton.
With Ed Norton. I'm just like, what the hell? But then like you believe it. I love Ed Norton and Penelope when they whisper in Spanish to each other, like just throughout the film. It's so funny. And then like Seth Rogen's like, stop speaking in Spanish. I thought it was just so cute and so endearing. I guess to break down maybe, the second layer of spoiler, right? Yeah. Second layer of spoiler is this, essentially you learn that that Seth Rogen's character, well, they both have actually been kept up at night by Penelope Cruz's orgasms.
Yes.
Which are like meant to be like mind shattering, just like absolutely explosive. Rogan says at one point, he's like, they're going to tear through the floor kind of thing, which is so funny. And then he wants to use this dinner opportunity, this invite to actually confront them on that. And then every time he kind of goes to do that, Olivia Wilde's character, it just keeps kind of interjecting him, giving him something to eat, giving him something to drink, because he's like it's just too awkward of a confrontation. And you think about this in real life, like if you had to confront your neighbors on them having incredibly loud sex, like it's just like rip your hair out.
We actually have a little problem in this building. and we've talked with some of the neighbors
really?
And we like don't actually know what to do.
Don't know who it
is? Well, we know exactly who it is. And we're like, do we put like a note on the door,
sticky
or
note.
just like make them aware that something's going on?
You do know who it is.
Yeah.
How?
Well, I don't know them personally, but we know which apartment
it is.
Yeah.
You're certain.
Absolutely certain.
Like up to the... How do you
no,
know?
no. Like it is so...
It's so clear.
Loud and clear.
Holy.
And we just know exactly
How
who
often
it
is this?
Like once a week.
It's
like quite distracting.
Same time, same...
No, it's random time. Could be
times.
movie night. Could be I'm working from home. Could be I just want to sit on the couch.
I want to say good for them, but also like I can understand how it can get a bit... Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't go as far as what Seth Rogen does in the film to try and combat it. Bashing on the door.
He goes up and they're on the Ring camera and he like trips over in this. Oh, it's so funny.
Oh, dude. But yeah, it's a tough one, especially when nowadays, like if you live in a city, you're often like wall to wall with other people.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Well, like on that same tier of spoiler, there is the fact that like, so the film is, again, it's funny as hell, but it's actually there's a lot of drama in there as well. Yeah. And there's a lot
I'm going to split this podcast into chapters for the first time for these tiers of spoilers. I love what you've cooked up.
I was like, it needs
I'll put in the extra effort.
Yeah, nice. So like, I think that like in so in that sort of second tier, we start to see that there's more to Olivia and Seth's, I'm just using their actors' names, their relationship in the film. And it starts to sort of, you really see how much this thing has unraveled. You really, really see how much this thing has unraveled. And on a second rewatch, so the film opens with this beautiful sequence. You hear the classic Rogan, like as soon as the credits roll, and you're just like, oh, that's funny, Rogan. And then you hear them playing piano, and then there's kind of like this like really grainy, fuzzy, like kind of glitchy home footage of them playing piano together, and then it like cuts, and then you sort of see Rogan looking at the camera, and then he's suddenly like he's working in this like music building, and he's just really like glum. And I didn't think anything of that when I first saw it. And then on the second rewatch, I was like, oh man, like he's like actually thinking of this more beautiful early time in their relationship.
Yeah.
And suddenly I was like, oh my God, I'm so on board for this rewatch when I saw that first scene is just hit so much harder. So then essentially like this whole funny conundrum of like, confronting these people about this incredibly loud sex then actually turns into like a reflection on their actual relationship themselves and how they don't have the chemistry, not just the chemistry, they have kind of really lost kind of their own sense of agency and control of their lives, and I think they feel like they've slipped into mediocrity.
Yeah, it's kind of like a midlife crisis
It
movie
totally
as
is.
well. But you're right in that the movie kind of uses Ed and Penelope as like this mystery aspect that draws you into
these
the film.
exotic characters that come in.
But when you strip it back, it really is all about Seth and Olivia. Like it's all about their relationship.
Yeah, 100%. And then I guess that the third tier
going into tier 3
would be that Ed Norton and Penelope Cruz actually, they came to check out these renovations of this new apartment, but they actually also wanted to invite Seth and Olivia to a group sex. Yeah. Because we learned that actually what they've been hearing upstairs is not just Ed and Penelope, so I keep using their names as if the actors are doing. But like, we're not just hearing them, we're hearing like up to 8 people sometimes. Yes. Like we're hearing like massive groups, which is so funny, that revelation of just like...
And it's a problem because Olivia and Seth have like a daughter that is also can also hear all of this going on.
Exactly. So you do feel for them. But then it does this incredible thing where it's like that, the extremeness of that, and they're almost like, they're not revolted by it, but they're so shocked by it. Yeah. Like Seth and Olivia. But then the film takes this incredible turn and they becomes like, so what's that like? So what does that look like? What is a sex party? How does it begin?
They clearly just have not done any exploration in a very long time.
Yeah,
you're kind of hooked into that as a viewer as well. Totally. It's like, where is this going? Are we going to see everything?
Yeah. Like, what is it like? And you kind of, I feel like you sort of in Olivia's position. If you've not been to a sex party, you're just like her. You're just like, what the fuck? Like, you're just like, what is this like? Was it like being in a relationship and having this like, kind of open, crazy physical thing with all these other people? And then that, I think, interestingly enough, it adds a bit of spice into her dynamic with Seth, right? So like, they've been in this long relationship. He's lived in this apartment that was his parents, and they've renovated it. But it's like, at one point, Olivia Wilde's like to Ed, like, he was conceived in this room. Like, Seth was conceived in this room. They joke, like, was it on that bed? It's like, no, it wasn't on that, not on that mattress. But it's like, everything has just always been in this one little apartment for him. He had a band. He had this one hit song in 2008, Seth's character.
That's about Olivia Wilde's
That's about
character,
her and being in love with her. And then like, now he doesn't even want to hear it. Like, no, he's very, very adamant about like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear it, because like, it reminds him of like what he was not able to do with his life and his career. And now he works at this school that's like, again, like he teaches, but he feels like no one really gives a shit about the music. He himself is like kind of disconnected from, the music. They say that he hasn't played the piano in like years. So it's really about the passion kind of being lost, not just in a relationship, but in one's individual life. Again, Olivia mentions as well, Ed's talking about like this photo that she took, and he's like, are you a photographer? And she's like, no, like, I was 1,000 years ago, I went to art school. Like, are you kidding me? Like, no, like, I just got a degree. I never did anything with it. And now she kind of finds pride in like designing the house and like actually having like, giving a sort of a profile to the home. And she's literally brought to tears so early in the movie when they just say, you have a lovely home, you put a lot of thought into it. And she's just like, yeah, I really have. Like, and it's so sweet. It's such a beautiful It's a sweet moment. Again, it's so cool how you can like laugh and feel at the same time.
Yeah.
For these characters.
So much of the dialogue is, I don't want to just say relatable, but it's so like you can latch on to so much of it, and it's so real, and it's so in touch whilst also being a bit like offbeat in a way.
Yeah.
Like it's such a ride that you can just jump on and go on. That's
100%.
Like I feel like we'll talk about the Odyssey very soon.
Yeah.
because that is like the craziest thing that's happened in a while, but
Yeah.
it's also taken a lot of the movie conversation away from everything else, including this film.
For sure.
But like even like the Obsession Backrooms craze was just like, it's time for the Odyssey now, guys. No more, we don't talk about Obsession and Backrooms anymore.
But I'm great. I'm so glad that a little film like this, I say little film, it's not like an indie film, but it's just like, on the scale of like a epic, the Nolan epic, having a film that is just like real time, by the way. It's like it all happens over like under 2 hours, and it's like fully real time, and it's just like it's cozy little in the evening in an apartment. I love that. You know?
And if we can do tier 4 spoilers for like 1 minute.
Tier 4 spoilers. like for like the ending and...
Yeah. Where just like how when they are asked to go and have sex with with Ed and Penelope, but separately, and they're so eager to jump on it and be like, yes, we can do this. But like what they really want and need has been right there in front of them the whole time. And I love how at the end, you pointed this out when we saw it for the first time, when Ed and Penelope like leave the apartment after everything's kind of happened and broken down. You don't see them leave. They just disappear,
vanish.
as if they were just like an apparition that came in to like kind of steer their relationship back on course, or make them realize that they really do love each other and they do want to stay together.
Do you read that as the ending? Like that they will put back on course?
That's tough, right? Because they're both in such agreement that this relationship, it's over.
Well, Penelope's the one that to say that. She actually says, it seems to me that like you can have all sorts of different types of relationships with different people. You can have a new relationship with the same person, but this relationship is over. And they both, it's like, it's such a oof. And they both agree to that. They both literally go,
Yeah. But at the same time, they are just a couple of neighbors who only saw them as individuals. This is their first night seeing them as a couple.
Yeah.
And all the context they have is just this one night.
Yeah.
They didn't see the mystical, romantic, musical past that has kind of like started to be reawakened. Like they haven't been seen in this light. I'm not saying the relationship isn't over, because maybe it does need to be over, and they just kind of use their daughter as an excuse to stay together. But I feel like the end is hopeful, no?
I think it's very bittersweet.
Okay.
I feel like it was really, especially on a rewatch, like I found myself like getting really like genuinely like teary-eyed when, as she comes to play, he's playing the piano at the very end, and she goes to join him, and you just see just one little tear go down her cheek while she's playing, and that to me is just like an acceptance of like we need to move on from
like
this.
there's goodbye, and like we had our good times.
Yeah.
And, we should acknowledge that.
And they're so annoyed with each other the whole movie, and they're so vicious with each other. But then at the very end, even though it's
so vicious,
but at the end they're actually like kind of sweet to each other. And she's like asking him how's your back because he had a fall, and he's like, yeah, it's better now. And she's like, I'm really glad it's better. And it's like it's actually really
Rogen's goddamn back the entire movie.
My back. But like I think it's It is open to interpretation. It depends on how you see it. And everyone who's been in a really serious relationship is going to have probably a read on that. And it's going to relate on a different personal level.
I agree. That's actually very true.
But I think that like being in a serious relationship, living with your partner makes this film like fucking cut through you. Like,
100%.
It's so real. It's fucking awesome. Might be my favorite film of the year so far.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll talk about best films of the year at the end, maybe. But yeah, I agree with you. It's so wonderfully open, even though it does kind of end in a neatish bow. Yeah, I'm so keen to revisit it myself.
You'll love it. You absolutely love
it. But yes, the elephant in the room. Chris Nolan's The Big O.
The Big O.
We both had that privilege of seeing this in 70mm IMAX. Like
privilege in center middle seating, mind you.
Yeah, center middle seating.
We weren't like...
No, we actually had really good seats. I don't know how I was just on like the IMAX members pre-sale.
I'm so grateful to you, because I was so stupid and so like, I'm not gonna even see it until like the
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna see it when it all blows over, and like, I'll see it.
You are an idiot.
I was like, I'll see it in my own time, and then literally you went and bought a bunch of tickets, and I was like, and you're like, do you just want to like get in on this? And I was like, all right, dude. Yeah. And then now I'm like, what was I thinking?
Dude, I bought like 2 extra tickets because I was like, I know some dumb idiots like you are gonna come crawl into my feet. Because I remembered how tough it was for Oppenheimer.
It was so tough.
I had to
see that. Kill me! I had to see it in digital. God forbid. But like literally, like I saw it. I saw it at IMAX, but the laser version because all the 70mm was just gone, whereas this one was Odyssey was 70mm, which was great.
We saw all the dust.
We saw all the shit on the screen. In crystal clear 4K.
But no, it was great. It was such an astounding film. I feel like we reserved thought. I feel like I've been more forward with how I've thought about it. But
you think so?
How did you feel walking out of that film?
How did I feel walking out? Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I felt a lot of things, man. I think I wasn't as exhausted as I was. I wasn't as exhausted as I was with Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I think when I left that, I loved Oppenheimer, and I loved it way more on a rewatch as well, like at home But like when I left that film, I was really just like kind of catatonic, like just like the blood had been sucked out of my body. Like I was like, oh my god, like that was legit like a really long trailer, and not in a bad way, but it was just like, what the fuck. Whereas Odyssey didn't feel like that. It felt like a complete story. It felt like a complete story. I just like I wasn't. Look, I was blown away. Sort of what I've said to you is like I was blown away by each individual section of the film.
Yeah.
But then as a whole film, I didn't feel, I don't know, I've never seen a version of this story. I'm actually really keen to ask you about that because you read it in school, right? Did you read it in school?
I think yes.
Something like that?
But I can't say I remember much. I read it in school and probably brought that up because like I remember the touchstones of like the Cyclops and then Circe and Calypso. Yeah. So in a way, like the second act of the film felt like it was like visiting those touchstones kind of methodically, like, you know, you remember this happening and then this happens and this happens. It was like ticking the boxes in some kind of way.
I guess it's got to be in people's like subconscious on some level through all of pop culture and media and everything.
And look, it's like the oldest story in the world. Right. Like people talk about it and it's like in stuff.
And it's funny that I know most of the beats from The Simpsons, which I then went and rewatched not that episode, but I rewatched the sequence. And dude, it's like 2 minutes long. It's genuinely so short, the Odyssey, but it's like The Simpsons is just that brilliant at like telling a story that I like knew about the suitors. I knew about like the journey itself. You have the sea captain in The Simpsons being like Poseidon going in the water, like blowing them away like, from where they need to go and shit. And I find that so funny. But like that's where I knew kind of all the big beats.
Yes.
Which funnily enough, this film actually skipped a bunch of the stuff as well, apparently. There's actually things that weren't covered because the Odyssey is just so insane and so big. So
it did change things as well. Like it's obviously it's not just like book to screen.
Yeah.
We don't see Odysseus going on this crazy like sex journey across the island.
Sex journey.
Well, he did a lot of fuck, is what I heard.
I thought he did a lot of fuck with Calypso.
Yeah. That and like a pair of suitors would be like on the shores as he like rocks up, and
that's really,
I don't know. I'm really not the authority when it comes to the book.
That's
or the
really
poem.
funny. I think okay. So this is one thing I did want to say is like I felt like the last hour of the film is in Ithaca. Isn't that insane?
Oh.
So the 3-hour movie, and you think, all right, we're going to see the Odyssey, boys. And then, like, the last hour is the Ithaca thing. Like, the whole getting the suitors out and, like, you know...
Somebody get these beggars! Sorry.
Someone had to say
I really didn't want to. I've listened to a few Odyssey podcasts and no one stooped that low as I just did. But it's why I'm so keen to rewatch it. I've been trying to get a ticket to rewatch it to IMAX, but it's so impossible. Yeah. Even knowing the manager, it's so impossible.
Yeah, I bet.
But because I feel like that last hour in Ithaca really ties together the whole story. I have real faith and hope that this works like how the Oppenheimer rewatch made it so much better. Yeah. I have my suspicions that the Odyssey will also be made so much better on a rewatch too.
That comparison to Oppenheimer I think is really valid because I was thinking of how...
It's a weird companion piece, isn't it?
I think about like the post-atom bomb, like it's like, well, all the way lead up to atom bomb and then like afterwards it's like...
And then
Yeah, exactly. And then we go into the whole like trial sort of thing, and how that is it's almost like a offbeat kind of way to end your last act in a way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then Ithaca is kind of similarly enough. It's not like it's not a weird way to end that last act, but to spend a huge amount of time to it, like a whole hour to it, just about, is pretty. Yeah, I don't know. I think that maybe I'll appreciate it again more on a rewatch because it felt a bit off kilter to me. I just wanted to spend more time out at sea. I wanted to spend more time out on the trip. I'm going to say the craziest thing. I want a longer cut of this movie.
It's a bit insane.
I want to spend more time in this world, and I want to spend more time feeling like I'm getting old with this guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That is true. Like the 7 years on top.
Isn't it 20 years?
Well,
he's
yeah,
gone?
20 years, and then it's 7 years just with Calypso.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it would. Yeah, it would do it a good service to live in that more. Maybe make Matt Damon look more wrinkly.
You know, my crazy thought was that the film, if it could somehow retain the like IMAX awe, which is essential, like it is seriously just like so essential to it.
Yeah.
If you could retain that and it be episodic, I think I would fuck with it more.
Yeah.
I actually think
like a limited series
like a
or
limited
something.
series, yeah. I don't know how you'd like if I could go to IMAX and watch an episode, watch an hour and like let's say a 90-minute episode in like 6 parts or something like that. I think I would feel the whole whoa of like the end, like a real like we got there.
I think Ryan Coogler is trying to do that right now. He's shooting a series on film and wants to screen it on film as well.
Oh, really?
And trying to he's in
sick.
some epic battle
Let's
right
go,
now
Ryan.
with the studios.
That's
I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
Heard it on the internet. But were you saying this about wanting more Odyssey? It is such a testament to how well the film is put together that you don't notice the 3 hours. I felt the same with Oppenheimer. Like, it whizzes by. Like, the fact that the last hour was in Ithaca, that's batshit.
Yeah, it is
I want to
crazy.
fact check that immediately.
You should.
But
could be totally wrong, but that's what I've read.
I'm a lame-o, bro. Jennifer Lame's work is just so undeniably fucking awesome.
It's crazy how it works. It just works for his style of filmmaking.
Yeah.
In a way that I just don't see how it would in anyone. You know, people criticize like cutting really, really often, right? And fair enough. Like that famous Bohemian Rhapsody like scene where it's just like you know, like they come down to the table and there's just like 1,000 fucking cuts in the scene, and it's like the start of Odyssey is a bit like that. It really is.
Oh,
like
the start, I was like, oh no, oh god,
it's crazy how many cuts there are. But to be honest, I wasn't like distracted by it. I was just like, this is classic. Just there's so much going on, and it does lend itself that feeling of an epic.
Yeah.
And like it can, some people might find it tropey of Nolan to sort of do this with, I mean, he's sort of done this with the last few of his films, right? I mean, you rewatched Tenet the other day.
I was going to bring that up.
I don't know if that does the same thing, but like
some of his film, like going into the Odyssey, I felt in my heart, I just have to let the first half hour do its thing,
Right.
and then I'll probably really get into it. And that was 100% true.
But I mean more like this like feeling the scale of this giant journey and this huge story, the way that Nolan kind of makes it feel bigger than it, like as big as it is or bigger than it is, by like jumping around in time as often as he does, and making the film as it feels like a montage, like a trailer, but then using that as a means of like, let's not just fly through this scene, let's show you a shot from fucking later in the movie right here, and then let's show you this from earlier in the story, and it's just like, it just feels like an insane, like you can see the cut, you can just see it, and like it's incredible. And like, I don't know of anyone else who can really do it like that.
Yeah, that's kind of his mastery.
The editing is unreal.
Filmmaking, right? It's like enormous, grand scale and story. But the more I analyze them, the more I'm like, these are really personal as well. Like somehow they're down to like one person versus the fate of the world. I think that's true for this, for Oppenheimer, for Tenet. It's just like one guy who's like trying to save the world. Tenet's actually quite like, you follow the character in his linear experience. It's just all fucked and going backwards and then forward. You should watch Tenet.
I will check Tenet out.
It's ridiculous, but it's a lot of fun.
I will watch it. I think I have a renewed sense of just being like, okay, like I need to give
Chrissy a chance.
Give Chrissy a chance. Give the little guy a chance.
He's kind of the biggest director of our time.
100%
He's kind of like our Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, he is. Like, no doubt. And our Kubrick and all of that shit. Like, he is the GOAT. You mentioned just before, that that it was really personal. And I thought that was really cool. I read something online about, there was a reviewer that was talking about how this is his most personal film.
Yeah.
Because he discussed when he was on the press tour about how like making these films like takes some time, you know, obviously the process of making a film can be longer than 2 years, 3 years, but like out there shooting can be up to 7 months, right?
Well, and the Odyssey is like dad's gone away for a
exactly,
while.
Exactly. So like someone pointed that out about like that's how it's really personal to him, of like feeling the loss of self and the loss of time and your family and all of that stuff while you're going away doing this great thing, right? Which I guess is like Odysseus going and sacking Troy.
Yeah, but it's, you just see it in these really beautiful glimpses that the film does so well. They're my favorite parts of the film, like the post sirens monologue, the like the second recounting of the sack of Troy. I was talking to someone today who was also just talking about how he was crying in that scene. I'm like, damn, I was also crying in that scene, and we're like such different. It's just it hits so
I'm
deep
really glad
in those
it did.
moments.
I'm really glad it did. I've always felt that Nolan has struggled on emotional beats, on emotional cues. I think his aside from Interstellar, which is like the emotional ode. Yeah. Everyone can have a cry in that movie. I think that he's struggled so hard to make like an actual really like emotionally resonant film in the past. I think one of the greatest emotional beats in any of his films is spoilers for The Dark Knight.
In The Dark Knight, the choice.
Yeah, the choice. Yeah, exactly. So like that is like one of the most holy shit. I felt the oof of that.
And then The Dark Knight Rises squandered all of it.
I know. We don't hate The Dark Knight Rises in this house. I won't stand for it.
We'll rewatch it one day.
I won't stand for it.
No, it's real. If Nolan can get that kind of reaction from me while the stranger in the seat next to me is doing this. Just fucking talking to his mate and just like...
And you're still
just like rustling and like constantly moving on his chair and eating chips. I'm like...
He's a chip eater.
Yeah. We took our chips in Tupperware containers.
Dude, that was the best. Can I just say, that was the best choice. That was the best thing you've ever told me. I don't think I can go back after that. Joel's like, let's put chocolate and crisps in
Tupperware containers because they don't make noise.
And we were silent.
We're going to the cinema. We're turning our phones off. We're packing our food in non-creaky boxes. We're watching all the credits and soaking in the movie before we get our phones out again. This is the way to be.
This is the way to be. I love that. I'm so glad you told me that. Let's talk real quick about Nolan's intention to not make the film like one for one historically accurate. Because like the pre-production, the shit online, I feel like I almost wanted to go without saying this, but also like I'm like it can't not be said how this film, when it was still being made, the right-wingers went insane. They went insane.
I'm not on this, bro.
Were you not across that? Like, they were losing their minds at, like, okay, these are not... Like, look, some of the historical inaccuracy stuff is, like, warranted, where it's like, okay, like, hey, guys, like, we're getting a Nolan movie. You expect it to be really, like, accurate, like Dunkirk was. Dunkirk's, like, very... As much as practical stuff would allow, it was. Whereas like with
the last like couple hundred years.
But then like with Odyssey, he was clearly like, I don't give a shit what the armor looked like back then. He just does not give a shit, right? And so then like people, it all got clumped into one huge thing of being like, this is a bloody woke movie. They got bloody black people playing Greeks. They got bloody trans people playing Achilles. They thought Elliot Page played Achilles for months and months and months and months. And Achilles is not even in the movie, man. I just can't with these people. Like they didn't check to see if that was true or not. And even if it were,
dude,
who gives
bots
a shit?
And bad actors,
who
man.
Who gives a shit, man?
I think for 99% of people, I don't understand how you don't like the Odyssey. I know there are loads of people who don't. Maybe I do understand how you don't like the Odyssey, but it's just bullshit.
Well,
it happens with every little fucking thing.
But it's just so funny with this film in particular. How much it was like, man, like it's hilarious that it's amazing you didn't see that campaign because like
there was about like all the helmets
mounting, but like it was a mounting thing about like where let's like not cancel the movie, but like let's not go see it because it's bloody Christopher, like Elon Musk's. Bringing him up right now, but like he was genuinely like, yeah, Christopher Nolan is fucking, he's anti-Western civilization. Like he's racist against whites, and so now now Elon Musk, he's literally going to make a AI Odyssey feature film using grok.
Dude, that's
using the most using the shittest AI, using like the most disgusting looking thing, and he like every now and then oh man, why am I still on X? But like literally every now and then he shares little like snippets of like what the movie might look like, and he's like, see, you know,
actually happening.
He's like, a team would take like months making this, and look how quickly we made it. Like Grok made this in a day, and then like it looks like garbage, Elon. It looks like shit. What are you doing?
Dude, I saw people posting like AI generated film on just Instagram the other day, and I was just like, surely this is not like surely. Like who
people think it looks good.
This is
the
good,
people who make
dude.
it think it looks good. They're like, what? This is fucking profound. Anyway,
I did want. Sorry, you go on. I'll bring up some more bullshit later.
I just wanted to bring up that. I just wanted to bring up the fact that like this film is now on track to make like definitely over $1 billion.
It's going to be the biggest film of the year.
Some people think it might even go to $2 billion. But it's been an enormous success. No doubt, a lot of those people who've cried and moaned went and saw the film and were like, yeah, damn, that was fucking awesome. You know what I mean? And I just think that like it's just such a funny thing where like, again, when this was still in the works, there was just so much shit about it. There was so much hate put onto it, and now it's just like a phoenix just blown that shit away.
I think that's how it always is, right? Like when literally anyone is cast as Batman, you see the internet fucking explode.
That's so true.
I just don't think that like this AI Odyssey is going to be terrible, dude.
That's not even.
I compared. The first thing I compared the Odyssey to was Apocalypse Now, because I walked out of Apocalypse Now going, how the fuck did they do this? Obviously, the Odyssey to a lesser extent, because like we've been doing incredible movies for ages now that are just insane.
Yeah.
But just the amount of practical stuff in this film, the amount of stuff they built, the stuff they included in the film of just like people dragging the Trojan horse along the beach, you like really feel the labor of the movie.
Troy as a sequence like was one of those Apocalypse Now sequences where you're just like, this is just unreal.
Even just in the Trojan horse and how they depicted that. Yeah. Like it's absolutely incredible.
And I think that like, again, on the note of the Trojan horse, again, that was another thing that people were sort of like, oh, like it should be really shitty and stuff. But it's like, okay, so I just find that whole discussion really interesting because it's like Nolan clearly, like he went out to make something that was, how do you say, when you go and you watch like a Royal Shakespeare Company play, and you're seeing Macbeth in a fucking t-shirt, you know what I mean? Like you're seeing whatever. So you eventually start to realize that this story, let's say Midsummer Night's Dream, like I acted in Midsummer Night's Dream. I was able to have a say in the production of the costume, and we ended up all being in 1920s outfits, right?
Nice.
It's a story that you can set in any time, right? And now, even though the Odyssey is still set in the Bronze Age, right? It's still like, I think what Nolan was trying to do is just be like, this still is happening right now. This is happening now. Time is this
feels so relevant,
right?
Dude.
Time is this thing where it's just like it should feel modern. It shouldn't feel like we're actually looking into a total peak in the past. It should feel like something that is so current and modern and real and today. And this is now. This is right now.
It does, dude. And the keywords you used, go out. They went outside to these places and filmed. Compared to like the night before, I was watching The Mandalorian on my TV. Oh my God. Which is like, they're standing in a studio and the LED screens are like showing the environment. Compared to Matt Damon fucking running for his life through a forest. And you feel that forest. When they're getting trapped by the trees, it's like they're actual trees that are like moving in front of them.
And the giants are actually just really
They're
tall.
just enormous dudes,
tall dudes.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So what a fucking choice to release the Avengers Doomsday trailer the day after the Odyssey comes out.
That is crazy, yeah.
And
that really is crazy.
Look, you can check my notes on this as well, but to my understanding, Disney laid off a bunch of animators to favor just like AI-powered techniques to do their CGI and shit. Awesome. So you're watching the Avengers Doomsday trailer like the morning after coming out of your IMAX experience, and just me personally, I was like, what the fuck is this? This looks so off. This looks like this trailer was made 10 years ago. I don't know. What's your take on this?
I felt the same. I felt exactly the same way. And I sort of thought, oh, I'm really not feeling anything because I haven't watched any of the series. I haven't seen anything post Endgame. Literally not a single movie or show.
Oh, dude, literally. I read this like a couple weeks ago. So probably when this goes out, maybe like a month ago, you have to watch 2 hours of content every day to get caught up before Doomsday releases. At least like 2 hours a day of watching shit and till the day that it comes out. Isn't that ridiculous? I don't think that even includes the like X-Men and stuff.
That is actually sickening. No, so I thought that I was just like not feeling anything because I haven't seen any of that stuff. And then I actually ended up seeing a bunch of the comments were literally like, I feel nothing for this. And people who have tried to catch up here and there, you know what I mean? Yeah. Some people haven't seen all that stuff, but otherwise like, shit, man. I just like, it's such a great point just to come from, we won't get into it, but like the prologue not the prologue, but there was a snippet
for Dune Part
3, and like seeing that, seeing Odyssey, and then like fucking
coming
Avengers,
back to reality,
and then Avengers. Well, I was gonna say, and then Avengers Doomsday, and just being like, really, guys, like you are the biggest studio on earth, like really.
I will be at Dune Part 3 on Doomsday Day.
On Doomsday. So Doomsday is just you go and you watch Dune and you go home.
That is what Doomsday is going to be.
Oh,
but yeah, it gives me such hope in the world. Like hundreds of Netflix projects have already included AI in like their process, and I'm just like holding on to these last like great directors who are not endorsing it at all and going like real practical style. It's just going to be really interesting what the next 5 years look like. Like how much of as a culture we're willing to accept that it just like meddles into our movies. The fact that Marvel's just doing it, like, yeah, you're just going to have to get used to it. And like you're saying they're the biggest studio on earth. That's a statement.
Yeah. But like I think that it's so hard, man, because like we are in a bit of a bubble, right? Where we're just like, we're like, that's disgusting. Whereas we love the purity of it all, of like let's keep that shit out there. And so like Nolan feels the same way, and then people love what he's saying. But then I kind of look, I think I know what people want. I think I know that people reject, as he calls it, as what's his name, Obsession director calls it, AI
Carrie Barker,
Barker, like.
Kane and Barker, the greats.
Right, but like all these upcoming and these old directors, right, are pretty vocal about it, right? Yeah. Except for Martin Scorsese. What the fuck? What are you doing, bro? Why, my goat? Anyway,
at a clubhouse with George Lucas, just like,
Anyway, so like, but I still think that like I feel like the culture, the pendulum is still, I still think it's anti-AI. But then I'm in my circle, just like how the people who are jerking off Elon are in their circle, and they're like, "Bravo, Elon! This looks amazing. You're gonna be so much better than Christopher Nolan."
Is it really just like they're just pissed at the casting at the end of the day? That's the last thing I wanted to ask you about was how
I felt about the casting. Yeah. I have no issue with a trans person being in the film or a black person of color being in the film. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care about that. Do whatever you want. However, I was like, there are moments in which I think that there are genuinely too many celebrities in the movie. Yeah. And I mean like celebrities. They're actors, but like when you get everyone together, this is a celebrity party, dude. Like it's a celeb party, and it kind of sometimes that sort of takes me out of it a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. I think that they could have been. I understand. We get why you want to cast huge names in the film. It obviously helps the film extraordinarily, but I don't know. There were just points when I was just like, it was a little distracting for me, the cast, but it wasn't. It had nothing to do with the ethnicity or the gender. It was truly just like I was talking to our friend Levi about Charlize Theron, who I love, but the way they made Calypso look was like she was kind of in a fragrance commercial. Like it was just.
I'd stay on a beach with her for 7 years.
Of course, but it was just like, and I get that she's like a demigod or whatever, but look, there are points in which I feel like you can play down someone's celebrity by making them a certain way, like John Leguizamo. I think that like he wasn't distracting for me. I saw some people like, why not just cast an old man? And it's like, who cares, right? Just like, it's fine.
I think every casting choice is so intentional. Like, I don't think Chris Nolan's looking at his
Except for Tom Holland.
No, but even Tom Holland, I'm like, you kind of look at this character is kind of like a boy, like trying to go out there and do something, but he doesn't understand the world. Just like you see Tom as a little meek little nerd boy, who's jacked as fuck.
He's jacked. Married Zendaya.
My favorite casting choice that just it still baffles me, but I think I really like it, is Benny Safdie as Agamemnon.
Yeah,
and it like you don't ever really see his face because I think if I saw his face, I would laugh.
I saw it behind the scenes, dude, and it's more funny than you could even possibly expect. It's the scene where they're on the beach of the dead.
Oh,
and he's like. And he's got all the black makeup on him, and I'm like, bro, that is so funny.
I made the mistake of looking at watching him in Happy Gilmore 2, and I just can't unsee this little fuck of a character he plays in Happy Gilmore 2. It's really bad. Yeah. But the way that they utilize him in this movie, just like he's behind this big like all of this armor and you don't see his face, but it kind of tells you into the kind of character maybe that he is under the armor.
I think that's a costume, and that's a kind of a blocking thing as well. I reckon, like, I do think, peace and love to Benny, but like, I do think anyone could have really played that role. He's got a good feature underneath the helmet.
But the fact that he is Benny makes you think about what kind of character he is outside of how we see him in the film.
What do you mean?
Like, you kind of make up your own little story
version of this character. Right.
Like, you can kind of imagine the kind of person he was before he got fucking murdered.
Right. That's true. And I think the blocking and everything though was just like phenomenal for that character.
Oh, dude, amazing. I think about it all the time.
Speaking of that Beach of the Dead thing, like when you see him, you don't even know Agamemnon is dead, and then he just kind of emerges, and he's so just ominous. And like that's another great thing for when we first saw the trailer. Well, like way back, I remember thinking, "Oh man, that outfit looks so silly," and that was when I was kind of on the historical train of being like, "Oh, like looks a bit like
Chrissy."
I was like, "Chrissy, that looks a bit like a Batman villain." And like, come on, Chrissy, it's not Dark Knight Rises, mate. And then but then in the film, it's incredible. It's awesome. I wouldn't have had it any other way. It should be, again, like more and more I sort of sit with it. I like these sort of played up theatrics. Do you know what I mean? Rather than it being like a 1-for-1. It doesn't need to be a 1-for-1.
No,
it doesn't.
Dude,
for a story like this,
story in the world.
For a story like this,
1-for-1.
Anyway, stay tuned for Elon Musk's 1-for-1 AI film.
It is a weird gap in film history, though. Like, no one's just done the Odyssey. Like, we've had all sorts.
I think they have. What are you talking about?
But we've had movies like within this, like Troy and all the other movies that I don't know about. But no one's just done a movie called The Odyssey, I don't think. I feel like I think it's been done. But not like Simpsons episode.
You're gonna have to edit this out.
No one's done a big movie called The Odyssey. Look it up on your little laptop.
I think Ray Fiennes would like to have something to say.
There's an Ulysses movie, right?
The Odyssey 1987 is an Australian animated adventure.
All right,
film.
I'm going to have to cut this out. An Australian animated adventure.
Hang on. And then we've got The Return, which is the Ray Fiennes thing, which is about the second... Hang on. Which is about the second half of the fucking Odyssey.
All right.
You're checking out now, aren't you, mate?
Whatever, bro. In terms of how this is... I feel like what we've just talked about, The Invite and The Odyssey, they're like the best movies of the year so far. How does this like fit into your 2026 rank?
Damn, there's been some bangers this year. I'm gonna. Oh man, that's tough. I'd say The Invite and Marty are kind of like neck and neck for me.
Yeah, okay.
They're neck and neck for me. Odyssey was great. Look, it was great. I'm a bit of a stickler for like really good writing though, and I think that like just sometimes it can.
Nolan has his way.
I just think it's sometimes like it leaves, like the dialogue, it just leaves for wanting more. I just think it kind of does. And again, this kind of goes back to sort of him being like cool with it being modern and relevant and current, but like I think that it could have been more poetic. It could have been more lush and beautiful, and I think you can do that in a way. I sort of made the comparison to like early Game of Thrones and later Game of Thrones. I think the dialogue in Odyssey kind of tilts late Game of Thrones a bit more like that.
The TV show, yes.
The TV, yeah. So like, anyway,
fair enough.
Anyway, so that was like that, and again the pacing sort of struggling a bit for me. Sort of held it back from being like, fuck, this is one of the goats of the year for me. But like I said, I am really keen to watch it. The soundtrack is the best soundtrack maybe in a Nolan film. Period.
Shout out Ludwig. Shit was
Ludwig
awesome.
was unreal, and like that Sirens like song. Oh my
It's been memed
God.
to death now. It's
But
like
it's so beautiful.
the amount of content that has come out of this movie already insane.
The themes in that score are just like phenomenal. I genuinely like almost can't wait to rewatch it purely for that. I'm just like the score was unreal.
Oh, dude. It landed very... I'm so keen to watch it again, but just right off the bat, it landed in my number 2 spot. The Invite in my number 3.
Oh, cool. And what
do you think my number 1 is?
The fuck's your number 1? Dude, I'm having a...
Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
See you, kids.